Chairman, members of the Commission, thank you very much for inviting us here today, and we are delighted to be here today. This has been a journey. The journey has had many paths. Some have been more interesting than others, but we are honored to be here, and I truly hope, that at the end of these proceedings, the vote is favorable and we can move together, because there's so much we can do together. We talked early on back in December, and we continue to talk to this day.
Could you announce your name for the record and your
association? I'm Cal Ripken. I'm the attorney for the Baltimore Orioles, and I have signed a card.
Appreciate it.
We talked about reinventing the concept of spring training, and I think I'm going to put this up, and I hope I put it up the right way. We really meant it when we said it to you, and this document that you have before you, the Memorandum of Understanding, does exactly that. For the first time, Sarasota is in a position, as are we, to change the concept of what spring training can do, both for a club and for a community. You've noticed that we spent a lot of time in our discussions, both with you individually, with members of the community, with the Chamber of Commerce, with your terrific staff, trying to weave together a thought process that said spring training isn't just about 16 games or 17 games or 2 or 3 months worth of practice, although that's very valuable. Hotels are filled, restaurants are filled, economic development is created by all of that. But for a community to look at a facility and say, why should we invest for 3 months out of the year when 9 months it may not be used as regularly, we thought was not the right approach. Now, some clubs have done, as you know, another team during that off period, perhaps a Florida State League team, within the context of those facilities. We thought something different. When John Angelos first approached you with the concept of reinventing spring training, he said, here's an opportunity not just to have the club, the team, extended spring training, all of the other year-round activities of a Major League Baseball franchise, but what if we coupled it with another concept called a Youth Baseball Academy? What if we brought the Cal Ripken model, successful model, that's been used in Aberdeen, Maryland, and elsewhere around the country, and use that as the effective engine for the off-season? What could we do then? And it took a lot of effort and energy to work with the Cal Ripken folks, to work with your community, and put that model together. That's what this MOU does. It creates year-round economic activity, year-round tourism benefits, year-round economic opportunities for the community, for Sarasota, for the region, and ultimately for us as well. It's a marriage that works because it works on a year-round basis. The question was asked, and a very legitimate question, what is Cal Ripken's real intention? I'm going to read to you, if I could, a quote that I'm authorized to give to you from Cal Ripken. And what Mr. Ripken has authorized me to say as follows, quote, I'm thrilled that the Orioles have found a new, comprehensive spring training home that Ripken Baseball will be part of that facility in Sarasota. I have always liked the idea of kids playing side by side with the professional ball players, and it really enhances that experience. We are excited to partner with the Orioles and with Sarasota to bring our Youth Academy model to the community. They have every intention of making this work. They are excited about it. They have talked to us about design plans. We have spent a lot of time making sure that the acreage that we previously talked about, or Dave did, works for them, and it works for us, and hopefully it will work for you. The other aspects of the MOU that Dave so eloquently discussed and Steve mentioned were the product of long and involved discussions and negotiations. You were well represented by terrific outside consultants, Mr. Jacobs and Mr. Barrett, your counsel, Mr. DeMarsh, and your county staff, all of whom spent hundreds of hours, as did we, over each line and each word, each of us trying to make sure the balance was correctly made. It wasn't perfect for us. It may not be perfect for you, but it's a balance, and that's what all good economic arrangements really are. We will continue to work with you to make that balance effective. If we design places in this MOU that don't work in practice, we'll work with you to make sure that they do. Our intent is to be a partner with this community. We're in the retail business. At the end of the day, we are an entertainment product. It is of value to us to have you satisfied, to have the community satisfied, and to have everyone working together for the values that we think are important in this project. So let me walk through a few pieces of it. What I've put up here.
It's upside down.
Is it the other way? Is that correct? There we go. What I've put up here for you is but one of what may be an evolving process of trying to decide just how we configure both the major league site and the minor league site. The thought is, as Dave correctly noted, that we will take the Ed Smith facility basically down to the foundation. What made this work, and Commissioner Barbetta, I compliment you for insisting that we go back to the drawing board, go back time and again. I think you asked me to go back more than once, and make sure that there weren't other ways to find cost-saving elements in the construction. I pledged to you then, if you recall, Commissioner Barbetta, that we weren't wedded to a number. We were wedded to a project. And through a lot of thoughtful and creative involvement of many, we think we have a way to make this work within the budget that you've expressed and with the additional funds that we may put into the project as well. We intend to take the Ed Smith facility down to the foundation. But using that foundation is valuable because that allows us then to recycle effectively existing opportunities that are already built into the construction platform. The utilities are in place, by and large. The infrastructure is in place, by and large. And by doing a rebuild from the ground up, we can then develop something that has a new character and a new look. Our goal, our hope, is to make it both consistent with the Orioles design plan and consistent with the Sarasota design plans. It will look better than Ed Smith looks today. You have that assurance, and it's not hard to do that. We hope we can do it in short order. Similarly, the clubhouse will be expanded. It will be made professional quality. The state of the art in training is essential to any spring training operation. This facility will have that. As you notice, we've taken out a baseball field. The current Ed Smith site has the Major League Stadium and 4 fields. This has the Major League Stadium and 3.5. By eliminating one of the fields, we now have the kind of free passage that people are going to like. You can walk between the fields when the design is completed. A fan of baseball will be able to see the little nuances that make spring training just so much fun. They won't just be relegated to the stands. That's a lovely place for the games, but there's no reason people can't come out and watch the practices or the backfields. You see a little bit of how someone gets taught to field a ground ball or a bunt. You know, what is the coach saying to somebody about rounding second base down on the backfield? That's fun, and it's interesting, and it's exciting, and we want people there. We don't just want people to come during the games. Come by during the day, see a practice, buy a hot dog, enjoy the afternoon. It's a great thing to do in the winter. This gives you the chance to do that when we open up the fields and give it the opportunity it well deserves. On the minor league complex, and I'm going to do this backwards, Jenny. Did I do it right? Did I put it up right this time? Nope.
Oh, it's upside down again.
0 for 2, and I only have 2 shots.
I'm starting to read
baseball,
backwards.
I'd strike out. That's exactly right. On the minor league complex, we have a lot of interesting design ideas. We've turned to consultants who have said to us, the acreage that Dave described behind the complex, the fourplex, can work very efficiently for a minor league complex, for a youth academy next to the minor league complex. The Ripken folks, as he pointed out in his quote, are really excited about the interface. How interesting would it be and how enjoyable would it be for a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old who's playing a game on the backfield of his Little League here as part of the academy to look up and see a Major League player working out doing the same exact thing. It's putting it together that creates the synergy, that creates the energy, that creates the economics. And it also reinvents spring training. We are just delighted to be here. We are hopeful. We had our fingers crossed a little bit today at the city council meeting, commission meeting. All went well, fortunately. We hope that we can partner with you on this. We look forward to doing it. And before I stop with my monologue, with the permission of the chair on personal privilege, I'd like to just thank a few folks. I may not get that chance to come back up here. May I do that?
You may.
First of all, I want to thank your terrific county staff, Dave and Jenny and Jeff and Steve. All of you and John have all been just terrific. Your consultants have been very helpful. There are those in the business community that have just been stalwarts throughout this process, calling me many times when things looked a little bleak and reminding us to stay involved. And of course, Commissioner Mason and Commissioners Patterson and Thaxton, Commissioner Barbetta, and I've saved Commissioner Stahl for last. There was a moment in this process, and one day when the story gets written, if it gets written, and I hope it does, there will be a story about a moment in time when this was dead. And I won't recount the event that led to it, but this was dead. And I received a phone call about 2 minutes later from Commissioner Stahl, who said to me, take a breath, take a step back, think through the importance of all of this, and regroup all of the processes and think it all through. And in the light of day, we'll find a way, and hopefully we have.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring up Andy McPhail, if I could. And I apologize. There's one more person I left out, and I never should have left it out, but it's critical. We would not be here without John Angelos. This is John's concept, his idea. The thought process to create this environment where year-round use is achievable, and you know how hard he worked on it, and how many hours he put into it, and how interested he is in it. He couldn't be here today. Things move very rapidly, as you all know, but his thoughts are with us, and certainly his concept is here.
Before you leave, could I,
Mr. Rifkin?
before you leave the mic, if I could
course.
ask you a couple of questions?
Of course.
I am really heartened to hear how excited Cal Ripken is about coming here, and I think really that is one of the reasons that your presence here is attractive to a great many people. But in fact, when you look at the memorandum of understanding, that is the most sort of up in the air part of it. And I guess I'd like to hear, because the county, which is putting with the state monies 31.2 into the project, and it doesn't cover the Cal Ripken Academy at all. When will Ripken Baseball and the Orioles be able to build the Cal Ripken Academy? And when do the Orioles expect to be able to get the funding to build the academy, the Orioles or Cal Ripken?
That is absolutely the right question to ask, and I apologize I didn't address it directly before. Everyone on our end of the equation, and that's the Orioles and Cal Ripken, want this to move rapidly. It's a big part of the economics that make it work for us. As you saw in terms of the allocation of certain revenues, for this to work for us, we need that piece of it in place. Cal's aware of that, but more importantly, he wants to do this. There's a phrase in the section on Cal Ripken that he added, we didn't put in. He asked us to put it in, and that was while the Ripken folks are looking for funding, he commits to be here and conduct facilities and conduct youth activities. I didn't put that language in. His people asked for it because he wanted to demonstrate to you that this is not a fly-by-night offer. This is a strong, solid commitment, and they want to be here.
Well, I'm, as I said, very heartened to hear that, but the two questions had whens attached to it.
The when is as soon as we can raise those funds, and we will commit to do that, start doing that immediately.
And you're planning to raise the funds by doing what?
I'm not as good at fundraising as the Ripken folks are. They are going to raise these funds, and they are really good at doing it. If you go on the website and look at the foundation and Ripken Baseball, they're pretty effective. I think some folks in the audience here from the chamber might be getting a call.
So,
They got the bucks.
so they're going to be looking for private donations.
They do in part, and in part they fund. And as I've said to you before, the single largest donor to the Ripken Foundation, and the man who got it all started, was Peter Angelos and the Angelos family.
So I gather you can't give us a win.
I will push as hard as you will, and probably harder.
Do you have any experience with how long this has taken in other communities?
No, I don't, but I will get the answer for you.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.